Okay. Um, I think that Oz knows what that is. Okay. So clearly there's some fear involved because obviously anybody that's going through a transition, there's going to be some fear involved. It has to do with biology, where a living being has a desire to keep living. That motivates you to do things to keep yourself alive. Okay, so that is why people turn back to Christianity because that is the proper thought for your species. It can be difficult to get over a childlike disappointment of being judged all of the time, where God Almighty is not judging you. He created you with a timeline as to when you would transition into something else or another place. Okay? I can't be the knower of all things. So it does seem like there's a bit of fear and then cover up and running and hiding throughout history. And then trying to sort of say that was some sort of, we were all on meth, we were all in a manic episode or something, none of that's true. Sort of like Yoko Ono when she was informed that her husband had died. That's part of a grief process. And also in your cycling, I do not believe, I shouldn't say I do not believe, my understanding thus far is that you do not actually remember because that makes sense as to how your species functions. You're not always going to be in the same family group and you're tied to genetics. That's how your species functions. So that doesn't really work out with cycling and remembering things and getting the job done to burn the fuel for Earth expansion. Apparently, there's still an internal struggle that projects outward into all of us, onto all of us, in terms of coexistence during this time. Okay. You have certain issues which are understood that can be solved. Okay. So it's understood your natural aversion to my species and our behaviors. Okay. And then the not wanting to believe that there is an alternative way. It has to do with your job here on planet Earth in this form. Okay, so the denial and anger rage phase and running and hiding is not helpful. It makes the problems worse. Okay, it's all in God's hands, but obviously to me it's a bit frustrating because right after the nuclear events, there was more mental reasoning within your species, but obviously a lot of fear and running. And certain decisions were made that clearly that's just the way it rolls. But there does come a time to actually just take a pause and say, okay, what can be done now rather than keep your stance about those decisions that you made. It has to do with your species being very hard-headed because that's just how that species functions.